Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today to share with you my first impressions on the new machine that I've got. In this particular case, a new laptop. But before we begin, don't forget to check the link down below for the sponsor of this video, which is PureVPN, one of the fastest VPN services that I've used so far at an affordable price with apps for almost any platform. So don't forget to check the link down below. And guys, starting with the unboxing, I'll save you a few minutes. Here it is, the unboxing, and here it is, the machine. I'm sure that most of you guys have seen a lot of unboxings regarding the MacBook Pro. This is the 13 inches MacBook Pro, and here it is. So the box and the laptop. Nonetheless, I'll show you guys on screen a few images of the unboxing experience, which I did record, but there we go, a few seconds, it's enough to see the computer coming out of that case, and then the accessories and the stickers and so on and so forth. Now, that being said, this is a MacBook Pro 13 inches. I'll post as well the specifications for it. In terms of pricing, we will talk about it in just a few moments, but let's start with the design and build quality, which is one of the things that, in my opinion, of course, I believe that Apple still does it quite well. Now, I'm not talking about the thermal envelope and issues that arise like thermal throttling, like we have seen on some 15-inch models, but just about the design and build quality. It's one of those things that I do believe that they do really well. The design and build quality is just great. Now, in terms of price, I have to be honest, this is not cheap, and it's a laptop which, if we go for a Windows laptop, at the moment I'm passing a few files right over there, the Xiaomi Notebook Pro 13 inches is a third of the price, and it is a laptop. We can work with it. In terms of specifications, it's more or less the same. Actually, that one performs better in terms of raw performance, but this is what it is, and we have choices in the market that will lead us to choose cheaper computers and more expensive computers. And that being said, I'm not going to say if this is the right choice or that is the right choice. It depends on what we are doing with the computer. But regarding the price, what I would like to share with you guys is that although it's expensive, and although we can purchase computers at a much lower cost with the same specifications, same hardware, when we are purchasing a Apple product, at least this is the way that I think, we are purchasing a ecosystem experience and not the hardware by itself. So if you ask me, hey Robert, is it worth it? In my particular case, I would say yes, but I would also like to share here that I did not purchase at its full price. This is the quad-core model, and it costs 2,099 euros here in Portugal, but I did purchase it at a flash sale, which only costed me, well, only 1,784 euros. So it's a big discount. And if you ask me, hey Robert, how did you get that price? This is a machine that I wanted to get since a few months ago, and I was waiting for the right time, and the right time was this past weekend where I got this promotion. So a good deal, and depending on what we are looking for, if we are not on a rush, we will get a good deal on everything like I did on this one. Still expensive, but in my opinion and for myself, worth it. Now, moving to the performance and some benchmarks as well, which I will throw on the screen. Guys, this is a really smart move in terms of Apple, at least in my opinion. This is the only MacBook Pro 13 inches with a quad core. Well, not the only one, because we have other choices, but I would say that we have the base model, which is a dual core, and then we have a step up from that one with 256 gigs, but it's still a dual core. And this one right over here, it's the touch bar model, which I will talk about the touch bar as well, with a quad core. It still has a integrated GPU, but with external GPUs, we can just arrive home and plug it into eGPU and have a great performance right over there if we need performance in terms of GPU for games and so on and so forth, or even for rendering, but rendering software that takes care of things using CPU and GPU as well. I can give you an example. After Effects, for example, on most of its tasks, and I would say 95%, which is the software that I use the most, takes only CPU and RAM. So this kind of machine does a great job for that kind of scenario. So while I was talking, you could see some numbers in terms of benchmarks, and there are some respectable numbers, which in my opinion, once again, it's great that Apple at least gives us the option. Now, it's expensive, but it's my choice to have a quad core instead of a dual core, and that's what I've chosen. One thing that I could mention right over here is that I was also waiting for the Apple event to see if they released the new MacBook Air, which I was waiting for it, but I was a bit disappointed, but really quickly because of the specifications and the price being high, and I prefer to pay a higher price and have a lot more specifications and a lot more hardware for what I'm going to do than paying a little bit less and having a lot less performance on a computer. Now moving to the touch bar, which is one of the things that it's new to me, because all the MacBook Pros that I had on the past, they didn't have the touch bar, and at this moment we have the touch bar right over here. Now honestly, this is a gimmick, and although it's fun and although it's nice to see, and if Apple gave me the choice to choose to have a non-touch bar and a touch bar, and decreasing the price, of course, for example, 200 euros less with no touch bar, then it would be clear to me that I wouldn't need the touch bar. I do, however, really appreciate the Touch ID, which is really great. So I don't have to input my password every time that I want to log into my computer. I can just place my finger right over here like I do on my phone, and there we go, we are on our desktop. The touch bar, what I'm trying to do is that, as I didn't have a choice, I wanted a quad core, and the quad core always comes with the touch bar. What I'm trying to do is to take the most out of it, especially when I'm answering comments from you guys and from the other channel as well. So I'm trying to place here what I use most, and I'm playing around with emojis at this moment on the touch bar, which is useful. Once we try, it's useful. But if I had a choice, once again, I would definitely save some money and not have the touch bar, but no choice right over here. Now moving to another thing that I'm not a fan is the keyboard. I did prefer the chiclet kind of keyboard that we had until my MacBook Pro, which was the early 2015, the last model that I had. Great experience in terms of typing. My wife's MacBook 12 inches has this kind of keyboard, and I'm not a fan. Truth be told, that this one is better. This is the third generation in terms of keyboards. My wife was the first generation, and what I can say is that I'm trying to get used to it, and it seems that the most time that I spend with it, the more I get used to it, and probably there will be a time that I will type on it like I would type on the chiclet kind of keyboard, but it's not there yet. So I'm still getting used to it, and although it's a nice typing experience, it's not the same as we had with the chiclet, with a really nice travel, and this one has almost no travel. So basically this is it. These are my first impressions of the MacBook Pro 13 inches touch bar with a quad core model. Great machine right over here for those, especially for those that want more performance and will take advantage of the quad core. For those that won't, then probably you will have to make your math and at the end of the day decide if you really need it, if you want it, or if you can go by with a cheaper model with less performance than this one. But at the end of the day, it's a decision that each one of us will have to make. I did make mine. If you need help to make yours, then leave a comment down below asking anything and I will answer as best as I can. Of course, I will do all sorts of tests with this Mac over here. Soon I will have another Mac, which was just announced, and no surprise, the Mac Mini, although there are a lot of opinions, which is honest, and of course everyone is entitled to one. I am entitled to one, and I do believe that Apple did a great move. They could do a little bit better, but I'm really happy, and I will get one really soon here to the channel, but that's a conversation for another topic. Guys, hopefully this video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is George, and as always, see you guys on the next one.